I'm Junior.
I'm BigPapaGrump, and this is the Board of Doom Challenge for Extreme Rules. Alright, we're going to open up with what I hope is on the pre-show, although they'll probably add a pre-show match or something like that instead. But it's going to be Sasha Banks and Rich Swann versus Noam Dar and Alicia Fox. An intergender tag match because reasons. I'm just going with Banks and Swann because why not?
I'm saying Dar and Fox because Noam Dar, I don't think has won on 205 Live yet, so give him something.
Yeah.
That brings us to the Cruiserweight match for the Cruiserweight title. It is a submission match between Neville and Austin Aries. I'm saying Neville in this one because I want him to go against CJTruth. I know it doesn't really make sense right now, but I think that'd be a really good match. And the submission match, it kind of seems like it's leaning towards Aries because he has a submission, where Neville does too, but it was never part of his signatures, I guess.
Yeah, he does the Rings of Saturn now, which I love that submission move. I was leaning Aries for a long time because I'm like, they got to put Aries over. They got to put Aries over. No, they don't have to put Aries over. I think that that's going to be part of the swerve. Is that they're not? Neville's going to retain and be champion forever.
He's going to be the king of the cruiserweights forever because he's going to steal the from Brian Kendrick too.
Yeah, until a midget poisons him. Next up is the Raw Women's Championship. After what was by far the worst segment that I've seen in a long time, and yeah, the build up for this match is dead. Unfortunately, it's the kendo stick on a pole match between Alexa Bliss and Bayley. And, I mean, I'm going with Alexa Bliss because I think she retains. I think they're going to keep the belt on her a little bit longer. And plus, at this point, Kevin Dunn owes her. After that terrible segment. She did the best she could with that. But no, stop with this is like the fourth time they've tried to recapture the magic of that This Is Your Life segment. That between The Rock and Mankind, but yeah, no, stop.
I only dated Bayley to get to you.
Yeah. Oh, so awful.
I'm going with Bliss too because I always pick Bliss. So.
Yeah, there you go.
That brings us to the cage match for the Raw Tag Team titles between the Hardys and Cesaro because they stole what we were calling them. And I'm picking Cesaro just because I'm getting really sick of the same feuds over and over again with no change because,
I'm thinking that they're going to leave the belts on the Hardys because I think that the Hardys are probably getting the biggest pop on Raw right now. I mean, Balor still gets a good pop and all that, but I mean, as far as away from the main event scene, the Hardys are still getting the biggest pop, and so I think the creative is going to ride that wave as long as they can. And plus, I think they're saving the titles being taken off the Hardys for the Revival. So, and I'm thinking SummerSlam on that. So, say yeah.
Say yeah.
All right, then we come to the Intercontinental Championship match where the title can change hands on a disqualification.
Extreme Rules.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of an Extreme Rules match between The Miz and Dean Ambrose. I'm going with The Miz because I think part of me wants to say Dean because it seems so obvious that The Miz is stacking the deck against him. But The Miz is so good with the belt, and Dean is so not. So, I think that, plus, it's just tailor-made for The Miz to win this match, which almost makes it seem too obvious, but sometimes the obvious choice is the right choice, and we'll see.
I'm going with Ambrose, only due to the fact that I kind of hope they have more in store than just the Intercontinental title for The Miz, because they were pushing him kind of on SmackDown, and they took him away. But, I mean, I guess they can give him the IC title for, like, the 1000th time, but...
Yeah, and plus the Raw is so, top-heavy right now.
Yeah.
So, building up the mid-card, that's what The Miz does.
Which is unfortunate because he should be, at least what he's been doing, he should have been the WWE Champion by now, but... That brings us to the #1 contender match for the Universal Championship because Brock Lesnar doesn't want to show up.
They still have one of those.
And he doesn't want to show up ever because Great Balls of Fire is where he's going to be. It's between Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt, Samoa Joe, and Seth Rollins. I'm going with Rollins because I want to see Rollins versus Lesnar because of the whole WrestleMania 31 thing. But I mean, there's five good choices for this. So I don't.
Well,
besides Reigns,
I tried to work this one out logically. Take Reigns out of it because the word has been for quite a while now that, and they can change their minds, but that Vince is aiming for Lesnar Reigns at WrestleMania. So he's going to try to delay that and still probably use those months to try to get Roman Reigns over with the fans. Good luck. And then the other one that I think you take out of the equation is Balor, because I think that Paul Heyman promo, actually, I think, while it put Balor over, not that Balor really needs to be put over, but it put Balor over versus Brock, I think they're going to slow play that feud too. They're going to let Balor kind of build his way to Brock, overcome a few more obstacles, just to ensure that if they can't get Reigns over, maybe they can, ride the Balor wave. So I think you take Balor out of the equation. That leaves you with Joe, Bray, and Seth. I don't think Seth versus Lesnar is nearly as exciting to sell the pay-per-view as Samoa Joe. Like, it's new, it's different, it's something, and it's not, you could do Rollins versus Lesnar at SummerSlam, or that's supposed to be Strowman. Mm-hmm. So, but you could do Rollins, Hell in a Cell or whatever. Since Strowman seems to be penciled in to face Lesnar at SummerSlam, then you're going to want somebody that you can do a one-off with and then come back to him maybe later. So I don't think you do that to Rollins, so that leaves you with Bray and Joe. And since they refuse to put Bray over in any fashion, really, although I think they owe him one, and they know they owe him one, but they're not going to put the title on somebody yet, so then it comes down to Samoa Joe. And I think that's the most intriguing one, because it should be a really good match. They can both come off looking like the monsters that they are, and Lesnar can just prove to be that much better than Joe right now, until you can maybe revisit with Joe later, especially if you put the belt on Reigns or Balor or somebody else at some point. You can have Joe come after them. We've already seen Joe versus Lesnar at this point, but now you can have Joe take a serious run at the title. So I'm going to go with Joe for now.
I've been Junior.
And I've been Big Papa Grump, and that is our Extreme Rules prediction video. Obviously, stick around for a minute, and I'll have all of the board member stuff on the screen. So there you go.
Top center.
As you can see, I'm wearing a Repeat Offender shirt. Repeat Offenders is BigShez's. He's one half of Repeat Offenders. They are a hip-hop group. They have a few CDs out, and they're currently raising money for the Alzheimer's Foundation by selling Repeat Offenders shirts, with all proceeds going to the Alzheimer's Foundation. BigShez's mother recently passed away from complications to Alzheimer's, and so they have a foundation with this going in her name. And I encourage everybody to go to teespring.com/repeatoffenders. It's going to be on screen. I'm going to put a link in the description. And yeah, buy a t-shirt. I mean, why not? It benefits. It's a great cause. So I encourage everybody to, go buy a shirt. It says Repeat Offenders on it. Even if nobody knows what it means, they're going to be like, oh, his shirt says Repeat Offenders. Actually, check out, if you can get a hold of CDs, it is old school hip hop. So there you go.